we have in the studio Irene Ugbah, who is going to be talking to us about the girl's child. We are going to commemorate the day tomorrow. And I think, Irene, you have a program tomorrow to mark the girl's child.
Good morning. Thank you. Happy to be here. Yeah, tomorrow is International Day for the Girl Child. Nigeria will be joining the rest of the world to commemorate the day. And tomorrow we have a little outreach, to reach out to girls in school because they are actually the girls. We were the girls of yesterday, and part of it is also to talk about the theme for this year, which is with her, a skilled girl first. Not just about education. It's also good to get education, but in addition to getting the education, what kind of skills are they also getting? Are they neglecting the skills their parents are teaching them? Because when you look at the situation right now in the country, you discover that even a lot of graduates don't have jobs. Now it's a generation where you need to have some skills. So that's part of what we'll be talking about tomorrow, and also see how we could also pay for some indigent girls who are out of school, to be in school.
When we were talking yesterday, there was this narrative you made, and that really, really got to me. Like a girl child, possibly so many of them are out there, maybe just because of when they get to their GS3, the junior secondary school level, just because the money to get them to SS1, some of them just money for JAMB, they just like, oh, because we can't get this. And they start doing this petty trading, and from there, they get mixed with some boys, maybe a welder, maybe a carpenter, they get pregnant, and from there, they will lose completely their childhood and they become an adult automatically. So what is your foundation doing to help this kind of girls?
Okay, first let's look at the, like I told you yesterday, if you look at the situation, it's such that girls in Nigeria, a lot of them can't transit. Now, this transition is not just even from junior to the senior secondary. I mean, even from the primary school to the secondary school, you have that. Yeah, they are that pathetic, And then when you look at some of these monies, they're not too much monies. Now, what happens to the girl? Girls are more vulnerable than boys. You ask the question, why the segregation? The segregation is because girls are more vulnerable. When a girl gets pregnant, a boy got her pregnant, the boy continues with his education, but the girl stays back to raise a child. So you find out that the emphasis is because the girls are vulnerable, the girls are prone to not complete their education, as opposed to the boys. Nothing happens to you guys. You just continue, so.
Let's take a further step back to, how it all started.
Okay.
Looking back at our African culture, it's always been there. The females, great-grandmothers have been relegated to staying in the house, taking care of the husbands. There's no belief, in sending them to school. And then men, our great-grandfathers, went to school, came out, and then knew that they had to train their daughters. But we still have some particular set who are of the mindset, some parents are of the mindset that no, the lady is not, her place is supposed to be in the house. You see that still happening in the 21st century. What are you trying to do, to curtail this? Because like they say, everything begins at home. If your mom is putting it into your head, or a mother that has a son and a daughter is putting it in the head of the daughter that, she should be the one that stays at home, the brother should be the one that goes to school and does all of that. How do you start changing that mindset that started?
Okay. I usually say that the problem of a girl child, and when it comes to education, that you can't use a one-size-fits-all as a solution. Now, if you look at Nigeria is too large and diverse to say one solution. Now, there's a region in Nigeria, the northern region, where you talk about social-cultural, or probably religion as well, making them believe that girls shouldn't go to school. Now, if you talk about the southern Nigeria, precisely the eastern Nigeria, it is not because they do not know that girls should go to school. It's actually a result of poverty in most cases. Now, if you look at when they're bringing girls to work as domestic workers, if you look at the girls coming from probably the east, the first thing the parents tell you, if you tell them I want to pay you salary, they say no, please just send our daughters to school. So you know that they value education, but there is no money. They don't have the wherewithal to send the girl to school. Now, if you're looking from the north, they say, okay, pay them money or things like that. Or you get there, you find out that a lot of times it's actually because of maybe religion, because of social cultural and things like that. So the solution will be that we have regional solutions. We can't use one solution. Poverty is the issue here. Let's see how we can get them more empowered, especially their mothers, you know, so that their mothers will be able to say, I didn't have this education, but I'm doing a petty trading, I can send my daughter to school. Then if we go to the north, we say, okay, yours is probably religion. Let's work with your religious leaders. Let's work with the traditional leaders. How do these girls go to school? Let's also make school safe for them. Because, of course, you know the issue of the Chibok girls and so on. All these things in parts, because at the end of the day, some parents will say, oh, if this ones went to school and they didn't come back, what's the guarantee for my daughter's safety? You know, so I believe that we need regional approach to this thing. It's not a one, okay, let's just say every girl must go to school. Some regions know that their girls must go to school, but sometimes it's just the money, the poverty.
So with this year's theme of the girl child, that's a skilled girl force, which I think is where Aisha came from, where you relegate a lady to be in the house and send the guy to school just to get. But now they're looking at about over 600 million adolescent girls. They have the same opportunity, if they're given the same opportunity like the male child, that I think that they have the ability to wrestle power in terms of jobs, in terms of governance, in terms of everything with the male child. So why do you think this year's theme, that's a skilled girl force, what's the reason for this choice?
Okay. I actually read through the concept notes from UNICEF, which is the major body covering this. And then their major thing is because of, when you look at the workplace, that is dynamic, is changing, and then you're beginning to see that before you even get some skills, you need to be educated. Now, beyond your education is that girls need to have self-confidence. I mean, you could be educated and you're not self-confident. Girls need to learn robotics. They need to learn some of the skills, you know, and so on, just to add to the education. So that when you get out there, you're not just saying, I'm a graduate, but I can also do this. And then let's also look at the fact, let's look at it this way as well. You know, I have an issue too, personally, maybe from the experience I've seen, you know, doing this development work. It's also the fact that when girls begin to go to school, you hear the mother saying, you know, let me speak it in our Nigerian parlance. I don't want to make my pikin suffer the way where I suffer. So the akara she's frying, she's telling the daughter to shift and go and read her book. But she's also forgetting that this girl needs to learn how to fry this akara in addition to reading her books. Because tomorrow, in fact, with education, if she adds it to that akara, that thing might take her to the White House.
Yes.
You know, but you see, a woman is making masa, she's making a moi, she's telling the daughter, go read your book, you know. But you don't know that she needs to learn that thing firsthand from you. She will read her book, yes. But as she reads her book, she learns this. I'm telling you that by the time she's coming out as a graduate, she is even more prepared than those who didn't acquire any skill. Because she will add education to that, and then she will go places. You know, so, and I think that is where that is even the issue I am, and part of what I'm going to address tomorrow with my friends who are coming for the program, to tell the girls, it's not because you are in school now, yes, it's all good and all that, and then all of a sudden, you are feeling, I shouldn't say, my mother is selling akara, I should not join her in selling akara, washing the beans and things like that. She's doing massage, I should not join her in doing massage.
There's a girl in Lagos, Sharon, I don't know if you have seen, that she's from this riverine area, and she only got an opportunity to go into, I think an agency just came and taught them computer, and that particular
I watched the video. She learned
coding, and she did a website. And that community now sells their fishes and everything online to the international. This girl is on CNN just because of that singular ad. She is a girl.
Yes,
she is a girl.
And also, she also stays in the riverine area. She knows
they did not drive her away from the fishery or whatever they are doing.
And that is what we should do now.
You know, we cannot deny the place of peer pressure. Peer pressure comes in different forms. Someone could have had, you know, the best background, the best upbringing, and go into the world, because as we know, you know, parents, you definitely have to send your kids to school and all of that. The things they encounter, the girl child, a major, how will I put it, a major first encounter is the male child. There's that attraction. It's always been there, for example. So now, what do we do? How do we educate the male to be able to help? Because yes, you tell the girl, this is what you're supposed to do, that's not what you're supposed to do. But you see a girl dating a particular guy that is pounding on her she now has insecurity issues because she's dating a particular person, or she's married to a particular man and he stops her from working, she starts giving birth, he makes her feel like she's ugly. What is the place? What do we do to the men? How do we make them help. Our female, the girl child become great and not even bitter? Yes.
Actually, I keep saying that when it comes to gender issues, we need the men. Yeah, because a lot of times when you bring up gender issues, like the men just go, okay, now they have come again, things like that. But we need the men. First is because you can't, let's assume you have 4 children and then you have 2 girls, 2 boys. If I decide to focus on the boys and I leave the girl, they're saying, I won't achieve optimum whatever potential and capacity as a family, because I need the contribution of the girls. So for the men, we need your contribution, because we want the GDP to grow in Nigeria. We want national development. If you leave us behind, we are more than you people, in terms of population. So we need you to come on board with us, support us. And then, as we are raising boy children, I'm a mom. I tell my son, the girl, your sisters are like you. You're like them. There's no difference. What you can do, they can do. And then we'll begin to teach them self-respect. Begin to teach them that girls also have aspirations. And they have to be given the channel to aspire. So that when they become men tomorrow, you don't put the woman down. And then I also tell the women, even you, discover yourself. Do you know that women forget themselves, especially when they have gotten married? They just forget themselves. When you have forgotten yourself, please, is it the man that will remember you? Because you forget yourself, you now tell yourself because you have married, you have children, there is no longer aspiration. Now, how will the man wouldn't help you? It is only when you have woken up.
You need to keep evolving. You need to keep
woken up, and then you're telling your husband, I have to do this, I have to do that. These are my plans, and so on. And all this also starts from even before you get married. Marry one who will support your ambition. And then let us mothers raise boys to respect women and treat them right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. More final question. There's no way you would come on people's television and would not discuss politics. Just yesterday, the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, came out to congratulate all the female candidates, that won under the party of the APC, her husband's party and all of that. And it's quite significant. We can't take the fact away that women participation in politics has been, less than it's supposed to be. Now, having observed, our political space being that is one center of Nigeria that is, very important. A girl, yes, there's a coding, one that wants to go for coding, one that wants to go for this, one that wants to go for that. But that one that wants to be a politician and feels, with the way things are happening, I don't see myself having a chance. You see women politicians coming up every day and they get, bootlegged down because, how Nigeria politics is. You have to come out in the night. Some will tell you, we're married, I have children, I can't do Nigeria kind of politics. Let's say the government, now you're talking to the government, what should they do different to increase women inclusion in politics?
Okay, first, there's this thing they say, the 35% affirmative action and everything. I think the government should hit to that. In fact, for me, 35 is too small. I mean, how can we have more population than the men, and you're giving us 35. You're taking, how does that work? But even at that, the 35 is still not working. Then 2, I also think that government needs to, the political parties now, this position, the only relevant position they give women is women leader. And I've asked myself, it has to just be a woman leader. Because you're talking to women, will it be a man to be a woman leader? So the position to me, I don't even like it. I'm not a politician, but when I hear women leader, I say, what is that?
What is it?
What is that? So the political parties themselves, they need to also show up, I keep saying that the gender equality bill was thrown out because we had less women in the house. If you look at Rwanda has almost 70% in parliamentarian for women, as 70%. Here we're having less than 15%, less than 20%. That was the only reason. Because I have read through it and they said lack of merit. And I asked myself, what merit are they talking about? So I think the political parties need... Then we should support ourselves.
You say you're not a politician.
I'm not a politician.
But you're sounding like you are.
No, I'm not. I don't even intend to be, but I actually want women to come out.
Well,
Let's support ourselves.
Thank you so very much. Well, you've been able to tell us that the major thing we need to do in getting these problems solved is educating a girl child, and also making them recognize that they have the same strength, the same quality with a male child. I think we'll learn more from your event tomorrow.